There are very few actors in the Hindi film commercial space who give as much to their characters as Rajkumar does. While the chatter is all about his physical appearance, I really hope we can look beyond that and cherish the man who is giving so much to the craft of acting. It's a rare sight today. That's all I wanted to start with. In an otherwise really barren month of movie releases, there finally comes a Hindi film I was genuinely looking forward to. Not only because it wants to tell an inspiring tale about a real individual, but because it showcases the rare quality of a commercial Hindi film actor who is willing to invest in the process of what it takes to ace characters in different stories. Rajkummar Rao is a rare breed who told me a few years ago that he had somewhat lost his path in the pursuit of commercial goals, and this in turn clouded his judgment with respect to the kind of stories he wants to associate with. Now investing himself in a variety of genres across the board, Srikanth comes as an inspiring and thought-provoking biopic that is based on the life of Srikanth Bolla, a man born in a Telugu-speaking family who considered the world to be his oyster. He never considered his limitations to be a deterrent for his goals. His journey from school, the surprising reactions of those around him that see him excel, his fight against the education system that limits those with disabilities, the hardships that he faces for simply being treated differently, his academic dream that led him to MIT, the impact of love in his life, and more importantly, his business pursuits and ideas that caught the eye of stalwarts like APJ Abdul Kalam and Ratan Tata, forms the basic premise of this lovely Hindi film that I believe desperately deserves your attention. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the movie so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch Srikanth in theatres or not. The underwhelming aspects. Highlight like structure. This is one of the biggest traps that biopics take the shape of. When a life has to be condensed in the format of a feature film, one often finds it tough as filmmakers to decide which portions of the person's life should be footnotes, excluded, or become core themes of their storyline. The problem, however, is that the running time of the film could easily have been stretched by the makers to genuinely make us feel for the several hardships Srikanth undergoes in his life. Acts of bullying at a young age, the frustration with the dated nature of the education system in India, falling in love, his educational aptitude and brilliance, and the several feats he achieves, the bureaucracy and pity with which he is treated, all of these scenes pass by us, but never make us truly emotional or invested. Through several portions of the film, you would wonder why the makers are in such a rush. There are inspiring ideas and key chapters of his life that are highlighted, but the creators are adamant to move on to the next achievement or hurdle. This is in sharp contrast to what Vidhu Vinod Chopra was capable of doing with 12th Fail. Another inspiring true story of an underdog fighting against the system that in several moments made us uncontrollably weep. The journey was inundated with hardships that made us deeply root for Manoj Kumar Sharma's success, and when we reached there, it genuinely seemed like he climbed the summit without oxygen. And this very emotional resonance seems missing in an inspiring tale like Srikanth's, just because the screenplay takes the shape of a highlight reel. Convenience and the art of callbacks. One of the major stumbling blocks that you will notice is the deeply impersonal nature with which the makers integrate callbacks to the film. This is when deeply impressionable events happen in one's life in the initial stages, only for karma to work its magic as our protagonist becomes more capable and successful. Examples like a childhood bully and a random peon coming back into Srikanth's life are far too convenient and only intended to send a message through our main lead, versus being an effective payoff you clap for as an audience. I know I'm bringing up 12th Fail again, but hear me out, as I can create a parallel with true inspiring stories you must have all seen. But the beautiful arc of Vikrant Massey being introduced to the DSP played by Priyanshu, the message he sends him about not cheating in life, and how it beautifully culminates into the moment they embrace one another is the art of a perfect callback that you couldn't help but clap for or get emotional about. This is what Srikanth the film needed, a little bit of Thehrav, a little more of a deep dive into his struggle as such a high-achieving individual, and the backlash one receives when one aspires for greatness. Convenient messaging took over organic storytelling in several portions of this movie. The good, beautiful and touching music. Oftentimes one finds it tough to fully invest themselves in storylines that have random and abrupt cuts to songs and dance. There is a science and ability that few directors possess where they organically flow into romantic or inspiring tracks, and what I found with the screenplay written by Jagdeep Sidhu and Sumit Purohit was that the music never acted as a stumbling block to the storytelling but actually aided it to move forward. Yes, I do agree, sometimes the score is far too saturated in its screenplay, sometimes giving it straight out of a Rajkummar Hirani movie feel. This, however, is not too distracting. There are various music producers associated with this project, but I love the romantic track Tu Mil Gaya that highlights the beautiful relationship and dynamic between Srikanth and Veera, played by Alaya F, in the initial stages as they travel across the states. In a landscape where I would genuinely be annoyed by a remake of an iconic song like Papa Kehte Hain, a song we so vividly remember Amir Khan and Udit Narayan being associated with is actually so fitting for this inspiring tale. I love that Amir Khan was associated in launching the song for the film because it's so representative of the journey of a man fighting against all odds. The song is not restricted to just the opening credits but acts as an overlying theme of the film, the tune being integrated aptly in several portions of the film and Srikanth's journey. It takes a village. What I love about the film is how it imparts the message that it's the attitude of those around you, if focused on uplifting one another, how it can change the circumstances for several generations ahead of you. The supporting cast and their sincerity to the main theme of the film is one of the strongest points of the movie. It starts with the parents who take on the responsibility of not only raising a differently abled child, but providing avenues and opportunities beyond what is predestined for them. This dilemma, especially expressed by the father played by Srinivas Bessetti, is done with utmost sincerity. The pride in his eyes as Srikanth returns to the village with what he dreamt for his child is a beautiful scene. I also loved how all the characters of the blind school, some of the most inspiring portions of the film, and even the actor who plays the young Srikanth were actually blind kids. It provided such an authenticity to several portions of the movie. I absolutely loved Jyothika as Devika in this film, a mentor and mother-like figure to Shri. The dynamic is of friendship and of a life coach, and both the actors share several heartfelt moments together. The dynamic also showcases the sheer impact empathetic and hands-on teachers have on students. If you truly make them challenge themselves and make them believe that life is nothing but an array of opportunities waiting to be grasped, the cliche of sky is the limit becomes even more of a reality. She acts like an anchor for Shri, and this provides for a realistic take on the genre of biopics, which I will come to later. Alaya F is credible in this role, providing the much needed reality check also to Srikanth in several instances. I also really like the restraint with which Sharad Kelkar played the role of his business partner Ravi, observing Shri straying away from the original goal only to know that there will be a time and way in which some sense will prevail. He takes the shape of becoming the patient yet loyal figure in his life. These individuals become team players who provided Srikanth what he always wanted, to be treated as an equal. Speaking of which, the intention of the biopic. What sets apart this movie from other biopics is that it does not intend to showcase the main character as a personality with no faults, as an individual with superpowers who excels in everything. Srikanth gravitates towards human tendencies that are natural when one is showered with praise, accolades, and monetary success. This ranges from insecurity, jealousy, and inflated ego, and it was refreshing to see the main character traverse through the same. It allows for the storytelling to be self-reflective versus just a celebration of a man who fought against the odds. The constant reminder and the message that really hits home is the pursuit of the main character to defy those who think that the differently abled can only beg or sell candles. He absolutely detests pity and wants to be treated with respect and equality, essentially what everyone deserves. This especially hits home when Srikanth believes that India doesn't need him when studying abroad, a result of the amalgamation of horrible experiences as our systems have been nothing but exclusionary for those who are differently abled. The hard journey still continues for so many, and this makes what Srikanth achieved even more inspiring. Rajkummar Rao. This is an actor I have such immense respect for. He is hardworking, he puts in the work when needed, he assimilates beautifully in complex characters and even in carefree ones like a glove. he is exceptional in Srikanth. A wicked sense of humor, a cheeky smile, effortlessly bright and talented. When you see how Raj performed in this film and compare it to how Srikanth is in real life, it truly is a spitting image, especially in his dialogue delivery and muscle movement. An actor who truly deserves so much love. While the film does suffer from its highlight structure, capturing the hardships and achievements of a man too quickly for its own good, it really does account for an inspiring tale that made me wish we as a community could do better. As Srikanth says, one should think beyond just making the blind cross the street. Not perfect, it goes through. I wish it did dig deeper with its emotions, but at least it was inspiring with its earnest message and a brilliant performance by our protagonist. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Srikanth. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.